Welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that. I'm Joe.
And I'm Calvin.
And welcome back to We Like That podcast.
Because we like that.
Could you forget again?
No, I didn't.
Okay. We're going to be talking about our regular shows, which is 90 Day Fiance. Is it before the 90 days or what?
Yes, before the 90 days.
It's not
No,
the other way?
It's before the 90 days.
What did I watch? Okay, so then...
The other way is the one with the two fake people.
The two fake people?
The dude that's had all the bottles and he wants to break him.
Okay, that's the other... That's not before the 90 days?
No, that's the other way.
That's the other way. What did I watch? Okay, anyway.
I don't know.
The guy who's in Jordan and he married the girl from Texas and she's mad at him. Is that before the 90 days? Or is that...
That's the 90 day before the 90 days, yes.
That is before the 90 days.
Yes.
Okay. Interessante. And confused.
The other way is the American people moving to the other countries.
So the guy with the Chinese wife.
Yeah. It's the other way. Yeah.
The girl who's into the Muslim guy who's in South Africa before the 90 days.
Yes.
Okay. Vea is in before the 90 days.
Correct.
Okay. So definitely that one then. Before the 90 days, a life after lockup. For Dat Happened, I wanted to talk about a connection to the whole 90 Day franchise. Michael Eloshwe has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for child pornography.
Not shocked.
Do you know who he is?
No.
He was in apparently the first season. Does his face look familiar?
No.
He married the tiny Russian girl, remember?
Sure.
Let me see if there's another picture. But, so anyway, they found him, he got raided by the FBI. They found a bunch of child pornography on him. And they managed to lower his sentence to 10 years. It was supposed to be like crazy long. But instead they shortened it. Yeah, he was facing up to like 17 to 20 years and they shortened it to 10.
Which means he turned into people he got the stuff from.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what that means.
I don't know.
They only shorten your sentence if you have information on somebody else they really want.
So the judge said they went lower than the guidelines suggested because child porn possession offenses often yield higher recommendations than other crimes that are equally or more serious. And because of his background, which includes no prior criminal history, and he passed a polygraph test in which he said he never had any intention of seeking out real children. That's what allowed the judge to lower it, apparently. It doesn't say anything about him turning in people. It doesn't say anything about a plea deal. But who's to say?
He probably also told them where he got the stuff and who provided the stuff.
Do you see this picture of them? So he was in the first season. I remember him because he was marrying this girl who looked like a child. She looked like a literal child. And then to find out later that he has child pornography is hysterical.
Well,
in a bad way.
The lemon doesn't fall too far off the tree.
Not the letter or the lemon, but he's still with her. And she actually wrote a letter to the judge. She was part of the true character reflection where they send the letters to the judge. She sent one. They're still married.
So, okay. Yeah. She's probably gonna do a lot of stuff while he's in jail. She's pretty much free for at least 10 years.
Well, so okay, I wonder if they can suspend his sentence then also. Like how?
No,
you don't think so?
No.
Okay.
He's going to jail.
Okay. I don't know that he's going for the full 10 though.
If he's going to go to jail and he's going to have to be in solitary. They can't put him in open.
In what, Gen Pop?
Yeah, they can't put him in general population.
Uh-huh.
They can't. His life would be in danger.
Would it though?
Yeah.
Oh, because of child pornography charges?
Yeah. They frown upon people that does stuff to kids.
But he didn't do anything to kids.
It don't matter. They see them as all the same. They're all equal.
Very interesting. And crazy. And he's not the first, what are you doing?
Adjusting stuff. Keep going.
It's making noises. So
okay.
He's not the first 90-dayer.
It'll be fine.
He's not the first 90-dayer to be dealing with some serious ramifications. I can never remember this man's name, but he's in jail for kidnapping and assault charges, and he's supposed to be going away for a long time. So
that's life. That's life during 90 days. They're going the other way. Lock up. They should do something with like 90-Day Fiance. Locked up.
What?
Yeah, they should do 90-Day Fiance Locked Up.
How?
It's enough people locked up has been on that show for them to do. Where are they now? Okay. Why are they locked up?
Oh, you're saying you have like a show dedicated to just that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Because there's actually not enough for a full show.
I guarantee you there is.
Okay. Interesting. But that's it. That's all I got for Dat Happened. You want to talk about this Tyson and then the Paul fight?
Not really.
It was depressing. You didn't see any of the undercards though. The undercards were fine. To me, the best fight was Ramos versus Barrios. They both called themselves the Mexican Warriors. They actually had like a lot of respect towards each other. It wasn't. First of all, the bout was really good. The fighting was good. We almost got a technical knockout. No one was sure who won, and they ended up tying. Ended up coming into a tie. It was pretty good. I missed the girl fight one. Taylor versus the lady from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, she missed the girl fight one.
I went to sleep. But apparently, the Puerto Rican boxer got robbed. The Irish boxer apparently was using a lot of stuff that was disqualifying, but it never got called on. And instead of announcing her the clear winner, they gave it to the Irish boxer. So a lot of people were up in arms about that, and they felt like that was basically going to let them know how the Tyson fight was going to go. And they weren't wrong, because then the Tyson fight happened. And everybody was sad. A lot of people were hoping to see Jake Paul get beat in the face, but it didn't happen. So, and then he gave a weird, random concession speech.
We don't really want to hear or care about that.
About how America's turning into a bright future now.
Whatever. Sure. Who cares? I don't have nothing to say about this fight.
How do you think Mike feels?
Mike is Mike. Mike don't give two shits.
So apparently his last exhibition fight, people said it ended the same way.
Yeah.
They said it wasn't a whole lot of nothing, and they didn't really do anything.
Yeah. Mike had 2 rounds. And after that, his legs are just gone.
You're talking about this fight or the last one?
I'm pretty sure every fight.
Okay.
Now I'm looking, watching this fight. Yeah. I can see. Yeah, his legs. Yeah. He has the upper body of maybe a 40-year-old, but he has the legs of an 80-year-old.
Okay. My thing is, he suffered a major medical health scare.
Yeah.
And not that long ago.
And I think that's another thing, too, that happened, too. I think that's still in his head, too. Also. But that being said, I already knew what was kind of going to happen.
Uh-huh.
I told you if Mike...
Calvin, you told me Mike was a beast. No one should discount him.
Yeah.
He's a killer.
But at the same time, too, I didn't watch none of those fights prior to Mike having. I really wasn't going to watch this fight. My whole thing was Mike is not probably going to catch him because he's going to run the whole fight. And he pretty much ran the whole fight until Mike got tired. I like how you
start these with, I told you so, and you didn't say any of these things.
In my mind, how it was going to go down, it was he was going to run.
Okay.
And he was going to just jab and run. And if Mike didn't have the legs or whatever, then he'll be fine. That's exactly what happened.
My thing is, he was talking a lot of shit about knocking him out for somebody who was scared to get close to him. That was hilarious.
He was scared to get close because
he knew that if he got too close, it was going to be done.
Yeah.
His legs might not be good, but his arms are fine.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. His legs might not be good, but his arms and punches are still fine. Because he tried to go in and try to do some stuff. When Mike caught him a couple of times, he's like, nah, I'm not going in there like that no more.
Yeah.
Nah. It's just that Mike's legs were like shot. And like you said, I don't think I took into account how that
wow.
Stroke he had really affected him mentally. I think that stroke affected him more.
They didn't say it was a stroke. They said it was an ulcer. He had a bleeding ulcer.
Well, whatever it was, I think that it's affected him more than he.
He's also 58.
But he's
a professional boxer who's now 58. In boxer years, he's basically 98.
So at the end of the day, I feel as though Stop watching this dude until he gets in there with real, actual boxers. Until he starts fighting professional boxers, just stop watching him.
On the one hand, though,
I didn't want to watch this to begin with. I didn't care.
On the one hand, though, I just like watching Mike Tyson be back in a ring like that. For me, that was why
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
I like the hype around it. I like that when he does interviews, we're constantly surprised when he just says stuff.
I'm not.
He told that little girl, doesn't matter. When you're dead, you're dead.
Maybe maybe it's me. I accepted who Mike is. I don't. Nothing he says. It's not shocking. I don't want to see him in the ring. I don't want to see him nowhere near a ring anymore. I honestly don't.
Actually, so people were saying that since Paul wants to fight so badly, he should fight Tyson's protege because he's been training a former MMA fighter who got kicked out the league for being too aggressive. He should fight him, but that probably is not going to happen.
He's not going to fight anybody
who can fight.
Yes. He's not going to fight boxers. He's not going to box. He's in a boxing ring and he's afraid to box boxers.
I guess I'm confused, and it's probably my own naivety, but I get confused when he talks about how he's tired of people second guessing him and saying that he can't box because he doesn't fight whomever. But then he goes and fights a 50-year-old retired boxer.
Stop playing into the stupid crap that he's saying. He knows what he's doing.
But now
he's not stupid.
He's now going to herald this as a major win, being I'm one of the few people who beat Tyson. That's what it's going to turn into.
And guess what everybody's going to say? No one cares.
I hope that's what they say, because there were a lot of professional boxers who went to watch this thing, and they were saying some very complimentary things about him. But I also don't know if that's because they were paid to be there or what.
They're saying those things to try to get his dumb ass to actually get in there with actual boxers.
I don't know.
I think sometimes
I also felt a way about this white man with all this money and all these black people around him telling him how great he was. That made me feel a way as well. So
whatever people are doing, whatever they got to do to get a paycheck.
Hey,
I don't even care anymore. I'm not gonna get on people about moral high grounds and all that crap. I don't care anymore.
I'm just saying they were talking a lot of shit about Tyson, like on his behalf, and how he was just gonna schmurder him. That did not happen.
I knew he wasn't going to do anything to Tyson. I already knew he wasn't going to do anything to Tyson. My thing was, is he going to actually stand there and attempt to trade, which is stupid. And as soon as I saw the first round, I'm like, yeah, I already know this is going to go. If Tyson catch him, that means Tyson was moving a lot to catch him.
It's very interesting. The Paul brothers are very interesting.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not. That's why they keep drawing you in. I completely ignored them. I don't know who the hell they are. I really don't. Until you started
you don't know who they are.
I really don't.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell they do.
Interesting.
I don't watch none of their stuff. I don't follow anything they do. The only reason I watched this fight is because you turned it on.
Interesting.
That's the only reason.
So you didn't know who Jake Paul was before I turned it on Netflix yesterday?
No. I've heard of the name.
That's a lie.
Kind of, sort of.
That's a lie. But I get it. You got to set yourself apart. You are unique, Calvin. You are special.
I'm not. I'm not wasting my time following shit I don't want to follow. That's it. Okay. Like, I knew he was some dude pretending to box. That's all I knew. I didn't even know he had a brother until you told me about the dude wrestling was his brother. That's the only reason I know about them is the information you told me.
You don't remember the Japan trip that they were on?
No.
Okay, because we definitely talked about it at length, about how they got kicked out that country.
I don't even remember that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do remember you. But you did a Dat Happened about that, right?
No, this happened years and years ago.
No. Don't even remember it.
Okay. Moving on then. Next thing.
No, I don't. Wake me up when he fights when he gets in there and starts actually doing professional fights.
He's not going to. That doesn't pay. He makes stupid money.
So you mean to tell me
doing it the way that he does
he can't draw enough to draw in an actual boxing match?
The way that he's gone about his career like this, yeah, he wouldn't draw.
I think
his audience,
no,
they would not know what he's talking about.
He doesn't want to lose.
Of course.
That's why he's not doing it. If he got the fan following,
he already got a loss though.
He don't want to get embarrassed.
No, I don't.
There's a difference from losing and a difference from getting embarrassed.
I don't know that embarrassment is a factor for these two.
There it is.
They're like two little Vince McMahons.
If it wasn't Javon, he'd be in the ring to shut everybody up. He would get in the ring with an actual professional boxers and try to do professional boxing.
Part of what gets people to watch is their hatred for him. So if he did try to go like the moral route and actually have an official boxer, the hate watching wouldn't happen. That's part of the reason why he's gone the way he's gone.
I think it would.
All right.
Because people want to see him get beat up and lose.
The audience that he taps into does not follow boxing like that. So if he did get an actual boxer, they'd be like, we don't know who this person is.
It doesn't matter.
This person is.
The key factor is he's there. That's all that matters. He's there.
I don't know if you've noticed his bouts, but it's with known names. It's with known names.
Then he's not that big of a draw as he say he is. Then.
No, he didn't say he was the draw. He said people hating him is the draw, and he's right.
Then if that's the case, if he gets in the ring with a real boxer, people watch it to see him get beat up.
People who follow boxing would hate watch it to see, but the normals wouldn't. They wouldn't watch it.
Then his name is not drawing anything.
We already discussed that. Yeah, his name by itself does not draw anything. That's how he's made his career.
Whatever. What he's saying doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't.
Because it's all business. It's not.
People watch Floyd Mayweather. Half the people watch him because they like him and they like his boxing. The other half hate him and hate watch him because they want to see him lose.
He's also a known name.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know what that point was then.
He's not a known name by now?
Jake Paul?
Yeah. No one knows him by now?
You said you did it.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. But I don't care.
Okay.
So, take me out the equation. No one else knows him.
He's not a big enough draw for people to watch him box other regular boxers.
Then why are they watching him box these people who are no names or not even in their profession anymore?
They are no names. They're known names.
But they're not in their profession. They're 500 years past their prime.
That doesn't matter to him. But they're known names.
Stop. He doesn't want to lose. That's what that is.
Both are right.
I think he doesn't want to get destroyed.
Both are correct.
That's all.
He also chooses known names.
Whatever. I just think he puts himself in there with people that he knows he has a chance to beat or a possibility of beating.
He does.
So, just say that. Whatever.
We did several times.
Make it up. Whatever. Moving on. 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. And then in Tiger Lily. So pretty much they're in Turkey to meet up to pretty much, I guess, try to make kids. That's the whole purpose of them being together in Turkey and to see each other. So it's the day after the little fight they had. They made up, I guess, try to have kids or whatever. It's the next day. He takes her on a surprise trip to the bazaar in Turkey. Pretty much the bazaar is a big market where they just sell a bunch of things and you can pretty much barter and haggle for prices. He takes her there. She has on this like full damn near mink jacket and this little tight red skirt and some stilettos on. So they're doing all this walking and her feet starting to hurt. So she's complaining about her feet hurt and she's like, we should look at some shoes. While they go look at some shoes, he takes her and he buys her like a Louis Vuitton bag or whatever.
That Louis Vuitton bag he bought her was $23 American. 23 American dollars.
Okay. And they're walking around now. She's getting hot because she got on this hot ass jacket. She wants to take it off, and he tells her like, "No, you can't take it off because whatever you got on is too tight." And now she's upset again about the whole him treating her like a possession or not allowing her to be her or whatever. So they finally leave the bazaar or the market, and they go take a boat ride. While on a boat ride, they get there. It's a guy trying to help her on the boat. He moves the guy out the way to, so he can be the only one to help her get on the boat. The problem with her, she doesn't understand Muslim culture, and her whole thing about him being jealous for other man touching her.
Arab culture.
Muslim, Arab, same thing.
No, it's not.
Whatever, it's close enough. That's her issue, but she doesn't understand that's the culture, and she's not going to change the culture no matter what she tries. And she's like, I don't understand why you don't think it's okay for you to be that way, and other guys can't touch me, do this and that. He like don't want you to be able to touch my wife in a certain way, only the husband. And then he gives her example of, say you're sitting outside and you're eating, and someone comes and touches your food, eat it. Are you gonna want to eat that food anymore, or touch that food anymore?
That was the example?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Meaning, if at some point, if a lot of people are touching you, he's using touching the way Americans will say, if you're having sex with too many dudes, why would I want you?
That's also not good.
That's the way he's using the touching analogy.
It's ridiculous.
In his head. But then
like somehow a woman loses their value.
Yes. Then don't mess with a Muslim or Arab dude. Find somebody else.
You just said it's akin to an American point of view. So it looks like there's a no-win situation.
No,
whether you're dealing with this Muslim dude or just a regular American guy.
That's the equivalent in his mind to touching a man, letting a man touch your wife all over. Or
I'm just saying,
in a certain
there's
way,
a shared notion that a woman loses value the more men that she's around, whether that's just socially due to some conservatism in certain religions, or like you said, guys feeling like feel like women are with too many men sexually. That's crazy.
You don't have to be with dudes that have been with a bunch of women. You don't have to be.
What? It's not a tit for tat. It's that this patriarchal view is shared.
Whatever. You can do the same thing.
Okay.
I don't understand the problem.
I'm saying she has a right to be her own person. That's why she keeps saying double standard. Yes, she definitely does not have a grasp of the culture or his religion.
That's what I'm saying.
At all.
That's what I'm saying.
But also, there is a patriarchal overview that she has to be this like virginal deity in order to maintain her relationship with him.
Okay. That's how they feel in that culture.
But it's also how it is in American culture. It's not to the same extreme where like they can't touch anybody, but there's still this idea that a woman loses her value if she's associated with too many men.
She does.
Oh my gosh.
It's called life. All she has to do is just break out with him and find somebody else. Find herself an American dude.
But that's you just said American dudes also share a similar notion. So finding an American dude is not going to solve that problem.
The issue is him doing this because. So you mean to tell me if she finds an American dude, she's just going to. American dudes don't care about that touching thing.
She was married to an American dude, and her complaint was he treated her like property. That was part of the reason they got divorced.
I'm pretty sure he was cheating.
She didn't say he was cheating. She said he treated her like property.
Okay.
She was his trophy. That's what she said.
That's what old dudes do with young girls. They're trophies.
We don't know how old he was.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, moving on to Chitty and Rain. So Rain, she's at the hotel packing up, getting ready to leave. And now she's playing in her head why her and Chitty's relationship went so bad. In her mind, the reason it went bad is because of him, and he's probably using her to get a visa to try to get to America and all this stuff, and how he was this fake person. He was not being himself. And how could he do that after she sacrificed so much to come to Africa to be with him, and he does this. So she's packing up to try to leave, to go back to the States. Chitty decides he wants to see her one more time to try to talk to her and try to see if he can get her to understand where he's coming from. So him and his sister take a ride in a taxi to the hotel. She comes down to meet him. He's sitting there waiting on her. She comes down to meet him. Starts off kind of hostile. He's like, okay, whatever. He gives her some gifts, like necklaces and a shirt or outfit, a shirt or something. And then he tries to talk to her like an adult and says, the only time that I was happy was when we first met. He's like,
are they broken up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He broke it off.
Okay.
He's like, and he's trying to get her to see. He said the reason he came to talk to her, he wanted to get her to see how uncompatible they were.
Incompatible. Okay.
That they were.
When they were at the beach?
No. Oh. He goes to see her one more time.
When he gives her these gifts.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the speech where he tells her they were incompatible.
At the hotel. He's trying to. His whole thing was, I'm trying to make her understand that we're not compatible and that she has some issues she needs to work out.
I understand why it would be confusing though if he's giving you gifts and then later is like, yeah, we don't work. Like, what is happening right now?
So he's sitting there trying to talk to her and tell her, hey, I think no, I don't. I get why he did that. That's probably some culture thing. To be
like a parting gift.
Yeah, to be nice. And in his mind, he does feel bad that she flew all the way here and it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So, because she was like, he didn't do that. I did all these things for him. He didn't do anything. So I think it's another way also showing his gratitude. Mm-hmm. So he's like trying to get her to sit down like, look, your attitude and your temper is an issue. But she didn't want to hear it. She pretty much tells him all this stuff, telling him how he's a bad person, how he played her, and how this and why you doing this. You don't tell somebody you love them and do this to them and all this stuff, trying to make him out to be the bad guy. And I'm like, you're proving his point. And she's just saying stuff pretty much. And he goes, you know what? I can't. Yeah, we're done. I can't. He's like, yeah, it's over. And then she gets up and she leaves off, runs off in a huff, whatever, goes in the elevator. And he's just sitting there. His sister comes like, you okay? He's like, yeah. And the camera, this show ain't, so they're messed up. So he takes off his glasses and he's talking to her and everything's getting kind of intense. So they show it from his point of view where it's just a light.
Oh gosh.
And he can't see anything.
Where it's just a white screen and you see various like gray shapes going around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are we doing this?
They did the same thing with the guy that was deaf. They would just cut the sound. This show is hilarious.
So, and they're pretty much over now and done. I want to see the reunion. What she's gonna say. I want to see how much people agree with her. Because anybody agrees with her, I'm gonna be pissed.
Is there gonna be a reunion? Do they do that for the other way?
I hope they do.
Okay.
Because I want to see if anybody agrees with her. Because to me, she was the issue. She was 100% the issue. His sister, they tried to make her feel welcome and comfortable when she came to the house.
Gosh, knock it in the stuff.
She decided she didn't want that. She decided she wanted to be his everything.
I would say 98%. She's 98% at fault.
What did he do wrong?
He told her last minute that they weren't going to have sex. Like they'd been having like text sex the entire time. And she was like, I can't wait to be with you and like be there in person. He was like, yeah. And then he was like, kidding. No, I don't want to do it. It's not little.
Yeah, it is.
No.
To me, in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing.
I don't think that it's little, and it wasn't little to her.
If sex is all you want, you can just go have sex with somebody else, or
I don't think it was
just have sex.
I don't think it was all that she wanted, but
having sex wouldn't have fixed their issues.
I mean, that's fair, but I also think it was a big component for her. And he didn't communicate with her that he had no intention of doing that at all until she was there in person. And he was like, so.
She didn't communicate she had a temper.
Well, he said he already knew about her temper. They would get into fights online.
Whatever. I don't think that means absolutely nothing to me.
He had his little confessions where he's like, she's, her temper has always been an issue. It's always been a contention point for them in their relationship. But now it was like in his face in person. And she was disrespecting his sister hard.
So that's pretty much Chitty and Rain. They're pretty much done. Like I said, I want to see the aftermath of the if they have a reunion. I want to see it just for them two. Moving on to Niles and Matilda.
Who were they?
The dude with the on the spectrum.
Oh.
With the glasses, the black guy with the glasses that's on the spectrum.
He basically says that she lives like garbage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they wake up the next morning happy about that her family accepts him.
Are they staying in a hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Accepts him and that they're pretty much happy. So they're decided that they're going to spend more time with her family because she hasn't spent that much time with her family because yesterday was a whole different thing of them trying to get things done. So this is when they go back to her family house and he gets to actually invited in the house and he gets to actually walk around the house and see how she actually lives, her room and all that stuff. He sees it, and since he's on the spectrum, they're like bluntly honest. He's like, I can't believe people live like this. Because he went in her shower, like, where's the shower?
It's not really a shower at all. It's like a room with a drain, and that's it.
And she's like, she really doesn't say anything at the time, but she's like,
this is mad disrespectful.
That's mad disrespectful.
Well, because he's like, humans don't live like this. It's like, what? What? My entire family lives here. What are you talking about?
Niles goes off with, I guess, her brother to get Wi-Fi internet connection.
Yeah, he needs internet connection.
So he goes with her brother to do that. She stays behind. And that's when she talks to her family or sisters and cousin about the dowry,
mm-hmm.
the money that he might have to pay the family as tradition for the marriage, which she hasn't told them about yet.
Where is this? Is she in Ghana or she's in Nigeria?
I don't know. She's in Ghana somewhere.
Okay.
So now they come back the next day. I think it's the next day. She pretty much takes Niles to the market and show him how she has to sell like plantains and nuts and all that stuff to make a living for herself because there's not that many ways to make money where she is. So she's got her little spot at the market and she's trying to sell her bananas and stuff, and Miles is helping her. And that's when she talks to Niles and tells him, hey, what you said about my house was mad disrespectful, and that if my mom had walked by, she'd have felt bad if she heard you saying something like that. Niles actually accepts that what she said. He's like, yeah, yeah. But that's part of me being my autism and me being real. If I don't be real, then they said I'm being fake. If I don't be fake, if I be real, they say I'm too blunt. But then I'm fake, they said I'm fake. And
he said mask,
all this stuff. Then she goes, you can be honest with me when it's me and you.
Mm-hmm.
But in front of my family and stuff, just try not to be
as bluntly honest.
As blunt honest as you want to. And Niles admits that he likes the fact that she doesn't give up on him. She tries to work with his autism. With other people, pretty much just whatever, just gave up and just moved on. She's actually trying to adjust and learn and help him adjust and learn how to cope and deal with it. And that's their conversation at the market. They move on. They go to meet her brothers at like a bar or something, and they start talking about the knock. And first, she tells Miles that she's gonna need about $300 so her family can go get food for. I guess it's gonna be at least like 100 people or something. She got coming to this knock or something crazy.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, why do it's gonna be that much people? He's like, it's gonna be my family, my school friends, aunts, uncles, the other villagers or whatever. And Niles is like, I don't know why that's gonna be an issue. I don't know how much money I have to do that. So Niles is pretty much going over the fact that if you're trying to figure out how he's gonna do this, he's already on a tight budget. Then they go meet her brothers at a little bar or something, and they're talking about the knock. And Miles is talking to them about the money and all this stuff. And then they bring up, yeah, he like, cause I don't think we should have all those people since my family's not gonna be there. It said about your family, who's gonna be there to represent you? He's like, I don't know. He's like, my family be sleeping when it's going on. He's like, and the brother's like, maybe we can do like a Zoom call or something like that, so your family be present, your dad will be present, so they can watch it. And now it's like, I don't know if my family will be up or be into doing it. Then Niles has a confession saying pretty much his parents don't trust Matilda. They think she's trying to use him. So they're not
not on board with their relationship.
Not on board with their relationship. So now they're like, well, who's gonna represent you as your father? He said, Mr. Ark. I guess Mr. Ark is a guy that Matilda put him in touch with that pretty much works with people on the spectrum in Africa with kids or whatever. And him and Niles, I guess, does the same type of work. And I guess Niles and him built up a nice little friendship. And they're like, maybe you could use Mr. Ark as your father figure to represent you during the knock. He's like, yeah, maybe I'll ask him, see if he does it. So that's the guy that says, if you're not doing the whole thing, then and I'm not gonna be part of the knock.
Do what whole thing?
The whole knock and do the whole ceremony, do the knock, then have the marriage right afterwards or whatever.
Oh.
That's the guy that they show. That is the one that said he's not gonna give his blessing.
Okay.
If he doesn't do the whole thing.
Okay.
So we'll see. Pretty much we kind of already know what Mr. Ark gonna say. I'm assuming his family says no, and that's all he has to get Mr. Ark, and pretty much they're gonna figure out how Mr. Ark is gonna do this. Also, Matilda says something in the confessional that her and Mr. Ark don't really get along neither. Which was kind of random. I'm like, didn't you put him in touch with the dude?
I'm confused.
Which is confusing, to say the least. But moving on to Joe and Magda. So this is the new couple. Pretty much Joe is a dude from who lives in Florida, but he's from New Jersey.
And his whole life is being Italian.
Pretty much. So they show him coming home for his dad's birthday or Father's Day, whatever. Which I don't know which one it is. I say his dad's birthday. And the family's there, and they're having a party, and they're having to get together. Big Italian party. So they start talking about Magda, and he pretty much tells them, yeah, they've been together for like 5 months.
Which is not long.
He met her on the phone while he was FaceTiming another female friend. And Magda was in the back seat or something, getting ready to go to the airport to go back to Poland.
Interesting.
That's how they met. And I guess a couple of days later, he jumps in her DMs or whatever, and they start talking. That's how they start talking.
He's a mess.
So his friends, his cousin's like, so what's she going to do if she comes to the States? And he said, pretty much, he tells her that she already quit her job over there. And she said, what she used to do, I guess she was like in a corrections officer or something like that. And that she plays volleyball, but she quit her correctional job. And it was like, why? So she can move to the States. They're like, what? What she can do when she gets to the States? Be a mom. Say, wait. She's like, so as soon as she gets to the States, she wants to get pregnant and have a baby. He like, yeah. So his family makes fun of him like, what are you going to do? You have nothing to do with kids. You can't take care of a damn vegetable in the vegetable garden or something when his cousins or brothers were saying whatever. So they do a confession with his mom. His mom's like, I think you guys need to take it slow and get to know each other a little bit more than 5 months. And then his mom goes, it took your dad 11 years for me and your dad to get married.
That's insane.
And he's like, really? He's like, yeah. He like had to make sure. I'm like, it took you 11 years to make sure. Sound like to me somebody wasn't sure.
Sounds like 11 years and some kids later, he was like, yeah, let's get married.
Sound like somebody wasn't sure and ran out of options and decided to settle.
Or he got yelled at by his family and they were like, get out, do something or get out.
That's what that sounds like. So then, fast forward, Joe goes back to Florida and he's pretty much a realtor. So while he's getting ready to show off this house and they're getting everything ready to show off this house, he calls Magda. They're talking. And pretty much he telling her, they're pretty much talking and they're about him getting ready to come to Poland to visit her and see her. And he said something about sex and she like, we'll see. Or we're not at that point yet or whatever. He's like, okay, whatever. They're talking. And then he goes, they fast forward 5 hours and now he's hanging with his friends in Florida.
They've been in Florida nonstop this entire time, just by the way.
Well, he was in New Jersey when they started off. He goes back to Florida. So now
I thought his family and his family friends all relocated to Florida.
No, they're in New Jersey. His family's in New Jersey.
Ah.
So now he's with his friends. His friends he grew up with are all moved to Florida. That's what it sounds like. So they're in Florida and they're hanging around, they're talking. He tells him, he says, so when are you leaving to go to Poland? He says, the next day actually. And they're like, so are you ready? He's like, I guess we'll see. And they ask the question, does she know you? Because you know how you are. So then they're talking. He lets it be known. Joe lets it be known that when they were dating,
him and
Magda, and she stopped seeing people. I guess he didn't.
Oh, at the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah, he ended up sleeping with somebody. And
how you end up sleeping with somebody?
She somehow she asked him, has he been seeing anybody or sleeping with anybody? He said yes. She's like, who?
I think she was like, after we started talking, were you sleeping with anybody?
Yeah,
and he was like, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I wasn't doing anything. I was focused on you. He's like, I didn't know we were together. She's like, how do you didn't know? So
that's a good question.
He talks to the friends and he's like, so yeah, she has my location now. And they're like, oh, that's crazy.
That's
that
crazy.
He has your location and that she needs your location because she doesn't trust you.
But
she has trust issues. But I'm like,
they also just hinted that he's known for not being faithful. So I'm confused.
That's another thing they hinted to. So I'm like, why are you shocked that she wants his location? Also, she doesn't even know that he used to date one of his friends.
Yeah.
Jill.
Who they show at the pool.
So they show at the pool. They dated like 7 years ago. She doesn't even know he's still friends with her. So there's a lot of things Joey hasn't told her that she doesn't know.
Of his 5-month relationship, yes.
With her. So now he's at the store and he's getting stuff and he FaceTimes her, see if she wants any chocolate and all that stuff. And he's like, yo, so should I bring condoms or should not? She's like, no. He's like, oh, you got some? She's like, no, we're not having sex when you come here. We're not having sex till I come to the States.
Okay.
Because I can't trust you and I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So now Joey's like, maybe she doesn't want to be me. Maybe she just wants me to get to the States.
Yes, Joey, that's what that is. Absolutely.
So fast forward to the
day.
Break
up then.
Fast forward to the day he's supposed to go to the airport and get ready to go to Poland. The producers go to the door, and he's not answering the door. He's not answering none of their calls, and that's pretty much where it's left at. Them trying to get in touch. Them trying to get in touch with Joey and try to get him on the plane to go to Poland to continue the show. So we'll see if he makes it to Poland or he ever answers the door or answer their call because they're at his door and he's not answering them at all.
I'm just saying they're introducing a brand new couple in the middle of their season. There's a reason. There's a reason for it. I'm believing. There's not that many episodes left. That's hilarious.
And now on to the last couple, Sonny and Vea.
Vea.
Pretty much, Vea lets Sonny know why her and her ex are so close. Apparently, her and her ex had a miscarriage together. That's why they're so close.
I don't understand this logic though.
Supposedly.
Like it's something traumatic for sure. But
so Sonny's
what?
Like, okay, I kind of get it. Whatever. So they get back. Sonny decides to take her to meet his friends to go play cricket to meet his friends.
That's a mistake.
So while playing cricket, he's talking to his friend. His friend is like pretty much hammering her with, why are you still talking to best friends, your ex?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, yeah. Sonny later on, she brought her ex here. She's like, why did you bring your ex here?
Yeah.
He's talking to her, and she's like, well, this and that and the other. You're like, well, you know that he's a Muslim and that you're going to have to convert to the Muslim religion. Mm-hmm. She goes, we never talked about me converting to the Muslim religion, and I don't want to. Well, he's like, that might be an issue.
Yeah.
So he says, why? And then his friend asks Sonny a question, and Sonny's like, well, this and that because I don't really trust her. You're like, wait a minute, you don't trust her? Then why are you guys even in a relationship or talking?
Right.
So basically, the friend makes it clear that he doesn't think they're going to make it, and that pretty much there's too many variables.
They're wasting each other's time
in their relationship, that they're just wasting each other's time, and he doesn't see them making it. They leave there. She tells him, they're talking in the car about it, the religion thing. He's like, don't worry about it or whatever.
Don't worry about it.
For now, that whatever. They get back to the hotel. They go to the pool. They're kissing, making out well in the pool. They get out the pool. They get in the shower together, start making out, whatever. And that's pretty much where they leave it off. And they're like, let's just have a good time for now. We'll worry about the other stuff later, which is stupid because we all know next time is the next day. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. But that's pretty much 90 Days Before the 90 Days episode. I don't even know what episode it is.
Wait, so that other couple didn't show up at all?
What other couple?
The old couple, the one that's like in their 40s, and she thought that they were in love, and he was like, well, no, I want to make sure.
They weren't in this episode.
Okay.
This week. But next week, pretty much it's brimstone and fire, and it just goes
brimstone and fire for who?
For them.
Oh, that couple is specifically, okay.
It pretty much is. I'm assuming it's gonna be over next episode.
Oh gosh.
The way that meeting with his friends goes, it goes downhill quickly.
Oh, they showed a preview or something?
Yeah. It just goes downhill quickly.
I got more questions. Are his friends females?
No, they're dudes.
Oh.
And they're like, dude, what are you doing?
I got questions then.
And the answers he's giving just pisses her off even more. I don't think she even makes it through half of the time.
Interesting.
So we'll see. But yeah, they're on the next episode. They didn't make this episode.
When do new episodes drop of this show?
Like Thursdays and Wednesdays.
Oh, something random in the middle of the week. Okay. Yeah,
because you still got 90 Day Fiance the other way. You got Before the 90 Days. And I think there's
another 90 Day something happening.
90 Day Fiance, the regular one.
There's a regular 90 Day Fiance happening right now?
Yeah. It's a regular 90 Day Fiance.
That's on right now?
I think so. Then you got 90 Day Fiance the other way.
Gotta check HBO.
Then you got 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days.
I know that those are all part of the 90 Day franchise, but I didn't know they had a regular 90 Day Fiance running at the same time as these two series.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
Because the other way is the one with the Asian lady and the dude from South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And Shekinah and whatever his name is. Them. And then there's the other one where it's the black girl and a Salvadorian dude. What's her face? Your favorite couple, Gino and her face. are on it. So it's Gino and
Jasmine
on the episode with that black chick and Salvadorian dude,
What are you talking about?
Mexican dude. Then you have the other way with Shekinah and that dude, and the white dude from New Hampshire and the Indonesian girl.
Okay.
They're on the other way. Then you have
there
before
hasn't
the
been
90
a new
days.
90-day fiance since August.
Well, there's 3 running together right now.
Then what is it's not 90-day fiance, the regular one. So what's the other one?
We'll figure it out. But there's 3 running right now. There's the one that's still with, like I said,
Jasmine and Gino they're not even together.
Yeah, but their season is still going on.
There's no more season.
Oh, did it end it already?
After that tell all, that's it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought their season was still going on. So you got that 90-day, and then you got the 90-day the other way with.
I think just the other way and before the 90 days is what's running right now.
Okay, yeah. So it's probably just those 2. But that's pretty much it.
Okay.
The 90-day franchise right now.
What a time! What a train wreck. Okay, so.
Yeah. I understand having timetables, but Russian relationships don't work at all.
What are you talking about?
For the 90-day.
Who's rushing their relationships? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them. The most anybody's probably been together in this series is maybe a year, maybe 2.
Okay.
And that's all been talk. It's not seeing each other live. Talking to somebody and living with somebody are 2 totally different things.
Uh-huh.
I don't think a lot of people grasp that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't take inventory of themselves. They take inventory of the other person, but not themselves.
Right.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues. We always take inventory of the other person, but the other person don't do. We never take inventory of ourselves
to
see what we're doing wrong.
Right.
But like these things, it's Russian things, and I think people don't realize how living with somebody is totally different than talking to somebody on the phone every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see, but I don't think none of these. I'll say this. I think Tiger Lily and Adnan is probably Adnan's gonna probably make it. I actually give Niall and Matilda a good chance of making it.
There's some stuff on the play though, like Matilda not getting along with a lot of people that are close to him. That's weird.
No, I think it's more his family don't trust her because they think she's using
I'm talking
him.
about the friend that she knew first and introduced him to.
Can I tell you my theory about that?
Uh-huh.
I think he wanted to be with her.
Interesting.
And she didn't want his old ass.
Okay. So then he was like, forget this girl.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be friends with what
but
person
then again,
who's dating her?
She kind of said it kind of off the cuff. So they didn't really go into detail. It was just some it's almost like a throwaway comment.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Pretty much she's like, they don't always see eye to eye. Something like that.
It's just interesting.
I think they'll make it per his family. I think his family be the issue. Because, honestly, I thought she was just trying to get out of Africa, too. But for her to put up with some of the things, his bluntness, and for her to have the patience, I think she's actually
invested in him.
Okay. But we shall see. But that's the only 2 I think that might make it. I think the reason Tiger League and that dude was going to make it because they're not quitters and they don't care.
They're not quitters.
Yeah. And she says she don't like the possessive thing, but I think she likes it.
Clearly.
She keeps dating guys so I think she likes it. I think she just likes to complain.
I think she doesn't see a framework where they're that doting on her without it.
But yeah, that's the only 2 people I see making it.
Interesting.
I don't see nobody else. I don't see nobody else staying together. I really don't.
Interest Sunday.
So moving on to Life After Lockup.
I like that we turned your mic up because you usually talk like really low, but you've been screaming in it. It's hilarious. All right, anyway. Justine and Michael.
I can't do nothing right for you. What else do you want from me, Javon?
I'm just saying it's really funny. Justine and Michael kicking it off. This is our. Honestly, they don't have much of a storyline other than Justine is pregnant. But we're seeing the aftermath now that Michael's mom is staying with them. And did you notice that his brother was there?
Who brother?
Michael's.
Where?
When they were setting up that bed downstairs, and it showed like two people, looked like two kids setting up that bed.
Yeah.
That the guy with the dreads was his brother.
Wait.
The tall, skinny dude that was helping set up that bed.
How old is he?
How old is who?
I thought that's a kid.
Yeah.
How's that his brother?
People can have kids at all ages.
So that means
that guy's in his early 20s.
How old is Michael?
Michael's in his 30s.
Okay, whatever, sure.
Okay. Anywho, Michael's mom's house blew up, so the people that were living in it are kind of displaced. They make it sound like just Michael's mom is moving in with them, but his brother was there. So, anywho,
pretty much, they allowed Fire Marshal Bull to come over, and he decided to let me show you something.
Who knows who Fire Marshal Bill is outside of us?
Everybody knows who Fire Marshal Bill is.
Okay, anywho. So then, Justine has been hesitant to show Michael that Michael's mom that she's pregnant. But Michael's like, we got to bite the bullet. She's got to know. Again, not a big deal. They finally show her, and she's like, okay, congratulations. Like, it's not a big deal. They try to create a storyline of like how she was reluctant to because of the whole paternity test thing that happened last season. But the way that the mom is quick to take accountability and completely understands her point tells me that this was not real. So
no, it could be that she had.
You don't remember
she was
that
enlightened.
Storyline?
Yeah, it could be that she was enlightened. She realized that I was doing way too much.
You don't remember when she pulled the test out and the camera followed her looking at the box and her debating whether or not to stick it in like the drawer?
Yeah. You
don't think that was totally overwritten? It didn't make sense.
Sure.
Okay, anywho, I'm not buying it as a storyline that she was like, oh, I didn't want to make sure this paternity test. Now, I do buy the storyline that Justine's mom is not on board with everything. Justine, there's a part in there where Michael's mom asked Justine if her mom knows about the pregnancy. And Justine's like, nah, my mom hates everything, so I didn't want to tell her about this either. And the flashback we get is Justine's mom having a very logical conversation with them at the restaurant when she was pregnant with Manhattan Barbie. She was like, you all already have 7 kids. You want to add another one to the mix? And at the time, Justine was like, Mom doesn't understand. We're creating our own family and we're making it work. But at the same time, her mom's like, this is 7 children. He doesn't work. What are you doing? So anyway. But she decides she's not going to tell her mom about the pregnancy. And that's kind of where we left it right now. They're definitely going to play the angle of Michael's mom being a busybody and apparently doing the most. But Justine needs the help right now. So there's that. We got Bianca and Daniel. I don't understand why they're still together. Daniel wants to introduce Bianca to his friend Gator.
Gator don't like his bitches out there getting pregnant.
You got the rest of it?
No.
Okay. So Gator is a friend he made in Lockup who's also out, and he wants to meet back up with them. Bianca's like, okay, that's cool. My friend Haley is going to be showing up the next day. And, of course, Daniel is completely taken by surprise by this because she didn't tell Daniel at all about Haley's visitation until just then. So then...
Daniel doesn't care.
So then Bianca also brings up that their sex life is not up to her liking. It's so random. And her complaint is the same thinly veiled, vague statement that he doesn't do what she likes. Basically, she's like, he kisses me for 2 seconds and then he tries to stick it in. He's busy trying to contort my body and just to make sure that he gets his rocks off and I don't get anything. I don't think he knows how to have sex. And it's like, do you know how to have sex?
First of all, that's her defense mechanism. When he's trying to make her feel bad, that's the first thing she says. It's a defense mechanism.
Part of having good sex is being vulnerable with your partner. She hates being vulnerable around him. I don't know what she's hoping for. Anyway, so she arranges for them to go to almost like a couples counselor of sort. She goes to...
Pretty much is a lady that shows vagina and show you how to figure out where the vagina is.
A somatic and intimacy coach. Somatic sexual coaching helps clients develop awareness of their bodies, emotions, and thoughts, and how to change habits to improve their sexual well-being. So it's like a lot of communication and acknowledging your partner and being in the moment. They actually do a tantric practice in their session with this coach, where Bianca has to sit in Daniel's lap and they share different things about each other, like what their desires are, what their fears are, and they're supposed to end each statement with like thank you. Daniel, to his credit, is trying to be as open and forthcoming as he can. Bianca is not. She's giggling and is uncomfortable and doesn't really want to get too deep into things. But Daniel does broach a topic of how like he wishes that she wouldn't be so nitpicky about certain things, but the coach is quick to like cut that off because they're supposed to be focusing on desire and pleasure. So they do that, and Daniel actually is pretty thankful for going to the coaching. I don't think Bianca got anything out of that lesson. So then they go to meet Gator and Gator's fiance. They split it off where the guys are hanging out together, and then the girls are getting to know each other. And Bianca immediately trauma dumps on Gator's fiance, Celeste, and just talks about all the stuff Daniel's doing wrong. And Celeste's over here like, what? Okay. Yeah, that sucks. She doesn't really know what to say. When Daniel's talking to Gator, though, he's asking Gator, like, when did you know to propose? How are you going about that? And Gator's giving him pretty good advice. He's like, I've known this girl forever. We live well together. I proposed to her our second anniversary. She was with me before I went to prison, and she stayed with me while I did my stint. And now I'm out, and I wanted to make her, I wanted to marry her.
Just like a birdie.
Daniel goes, that makes sense. Bianca is expecting me to marry her. And Gator is kind of taken aback by that. He's like, why does she think this? He's like, well, I did ask her in prison to get married. And he's like, why would you do that? It was hilarious.
First of all, I don't know why Gator acting like he's the first time he ever heard that. I'm pretty sure he's heard that before.
I'm sure that's why he said that, though. They probably both have heard that before. And he was like, we talked about how dumb it was in prison. Why did you do it? So he's like, why would you do this? Now she's expecting it. And Daniel's like, yeah, she is. She's definitely expecting it. But he has his hang-ups about it. He doesn't think that they've reached a level yet where marriage is an option. He kind of feels like they're still getting to know each other. They just started living together. And they fight a lot right now. Oh, I forgot to mention that when they ended their tantric session with the coach was like, last question, what is the status of your relationship? They gave two different answers. Daniel was like, we're dating. Bianca was like, we're engaged. Daniel points out, you don't got a ring on your finger, so we can't be engaged.
Bam! In your face. In the face!
We're dating. We're boyfriend, girlfriend. And Bianca's like, you proposed to me. Ring or not, that's an engagement. And Daniel's like, nah. So it's like, so she's dealing with that. Then she's at this dinner with Gator and them. They start talking about the subject of marriage again, and Gator brings up, you want to make sure that you're compatible with the person that you're going to get married to. It takes a little bit. You got to learn to live with each other. Bianca hates this topic. She hates what he's saying. She is so affronted by everything that's going on, and she feels like Daniel isn't sticking up for her at this point because Daniel's just nodding his head in agreement. And she's like, I got to go. I got to leave. Instead of Daniel being the one to chase after her, they send Gator's fiance after her, who met her today.
That's because that's pimping right there.
It was
Gator. You go talk to the other hoe. Gator don't talk to hoes.
It was so confusing. Okay. Then we got Troy and Zariah. Typical Troy Zariah business. We're picking up right after the phone call that Troy received from his mom saying she got a problem. The problem was she has his daughter And according to her, the daughter has been crying nonstop to see him. So she's on the train as they are talking to get down from Buffalo to Syracuse to bring his daughter to him. And he's
Syracuse. No, Cruz. It's Syracuse.
whatever. And
Thank
he's like, I have plans for the day. This is so last minute. She's like, well, you're going to have to figure it out. But he does. He ends up introducing his stepson, Azael, to his daughter. The kids seem to take up real quick. They're like, I've always wanted siblings. We've heard about each other for so long. I'm so happy to meet him. We already love each other. And Troy is already throwing out verbiage about them being family. He's like, make sure you look after your sister. Make sure you look after your brother. It's very quick to me to be using all of this, but whatever. So then Karen, Troy's mom, talks to him about how he needs to get his house under control. Apparently, she feels that his baby mama and his current wife need to get on the same page about his daughter because he needs to get his visitation together in order to see Yana, or not see Yana, that's his baby mama, in order to see little Troy, which is the name of his daughter, more often. Karen also forgot her new grandson's name, so that was it. A lot of it was crazy.
Karen is too high to remember things, Siobhan.
She goes, "Hey, Allie boy," and he's like, "It's Azael, ma," and she goes, "I don't know what this child's name is."
And
they're all in the car,
and that's why she came down there to Buffalo with the baby. She forgot that
Syracuse.
She forgot that the baby mama still lives up there with her, because weed make you forget things sometimes.
Who knows? Troy does talk to Zariah about it, about trying to get on the same page with Yana if they could have a meeting of some sort. Zariah took it the way Zariah was going to take it, which was to immediately go off the deep end and be like, why do we need to get her involved? It's not that serious, because it's about his child. But eventually she concedes, and it's like, okay, I don't have to talk to her directly. If you want to make arrangements or whatever, I'm cool with that. He's like, cool. He ends up calling Yana, and he's like, I would love it if I could have little Troy down here. He's doing something with their community project he wants little Troy to be a part of, and it's him trying to take baby steps towards a reconciliation of sorts between his baby mama and his wife. Yana says she'll think about it, so that's where we end that.
Which means she's like a damn fool for no reason. That's what that means.
Yeah, Yana. So when we met them in Love During Lockup, or Love During Lockup, Yana seemed agreeable. Like she knew a lot about Zaria already. Zaria painted it out that like Yana just wanted to get back with Troy and was undermining her. But then when you talk to Yana, she's like out the gate. Zaria was like on my ass for nothing. For nothing. She didn't even try to get to know Troy's daughter in any way. She was just quick to come at me. So I was like, game, go ahead. Also, that's how we found out that Zaria cheated on Troy, was Yana. So who knows what's going on over there? Who knows? Anywho.
No one knows.
But also, if they're going to try to, I feel like they're missing an opportunity to try to run the storyline of Yana feeling a way that Zaria is getting the kind of ending that she's getting with Troy when Yana held him down for so long and they ended up breaking up. So, listen, Louis.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
What's the storyline you got thinking in your head that they're trying to do?
Oh, that right now the painting is that Yana is trying to steal something that's Zariah's. But I feel like it should be the other way around. Zaria successfully stole something that was Yana's.
So you're saying that him and that girl were still together and Zaria saw him while seeing her husband.
I'm saying in Zariah's head, her and Yana are competing for Troy. And in her head, Yana has an unfair advantage because she has Troy's daughter and they were together for so long. Yana has been said that her and Troy have not been a thing, but that she's always going to be in his life, which is technically true because they shared the daughter.
So you're saying that Zaria is making something up in her head that's not there.
Yeah.
The other woman has pretty much moved on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if she's moved on. Maybe you might be right. I got to see more. But from what I've seen so far, you're right. She's like, I've moved on. We just have a child together. That's the only reason.
Right.
We're still having contact.
But also, she, unfortunately, the woman that's now in her ex's life immediately disrespected her. Like, immediately, like out the gate, immediately just came for her throat. And she was like, I don't know what's happening here. And it put a bad taste in her mouth. So she didn't want to mess with her at all.
Yeah.
So I can't blame her.
And
for
I
that.
think that's why she took the stance on I'm gonna have to sit down and talk to her before I have my daughter around her.
Well, so because there was a stance where Troy immediately was like, all right, so I'll do weekends and, we'll do this and that. And his baby mom was like, no, we're not doing that.
What I'm saying to you, I think she'd have been okay with that if she had a better attitude. If Zariah had a better attitude.
Yeah, if she already had gotten to know Zariah, I'm sure it wouldn't have been a problem. But because of the way that it went, with it being a competition, apparently, she was like, So, but yeah, so right now they're taking baby steps. That's where we ended with that. Melissa and Louis also don't really have a storyline. They are now engaged. We pick up immediately after the engagement. They're going to dinner with their parents, which is Melissa's dad, Louis' mom, Donna, who does not like Melissa.
But she tells why she doesn't like Melissa.
Well, she's been told us. But anywho.
Okay.
For whatever reason, Melissa is taken aback that her family is not jumping for joy once they find out that she's engaged. I don't know why they would. Nobody was on board for it.
She's in shock that no one cares anymore now.
She's like, they treat it like it's just nothing. Yeah.
I thought that's what you wanted.
You already are living with him. So like it's just what would change? So anywho. But Donna's not happy. She has a lot of her own concerns about what's going on. She ends up having a side conversation with Melissa about it. And she's like, I talked to my mom, which is Louis' grandmother, and her sister. And she was like, they didn't understand why I didn't like you. And she came to the conclusion that she doesn't like Melissa because Melissa is like her. Melissa is affronted by this news. She's like, I am nothing like Donna.
She's almost
exactly like Donna.
Jumped out the window.
The balcony. She almost jumped off the balcony. She's exactly like Donna. Same kind of like controlling personality. But also I think there's some emotional incest happening between Donna and Louis. I feel like Louis kind of took up a portion of what would have been her life partner, basically. She just devoted all of that to her kid. And when he was little, it made sense. But then as he grew up and became an adult, got a little more complicated, got weird. But she didn't see it that way. And then when he decided to move on with his life, she was like, why is he dumping me, essentially? Which is not what's happening. But she tells Louis all of this, that she kind of feels like she's being replaced, yada, yada. She wants to be happy for him, but she doesn't understand why he needs to do all of this. And he's like, I got to grow up, Ma. I got to be my own person. You have to let go.
I got to see the road, Ma.
And she's like, why do I have to let go? He's like, because
I don't want to let go.
So we know Donna eventually is just going to go with it, but she's going to put up a fight about it for right now. And that's really it. She's also concerned that Melissa at any time will drop Louis at some point. She feels like Melissa's got one foot out of this relationship. Kim and Joey. This storyline.
Joey's on that stuff, okay? Joey's on that stuff.
This thing was all over the place. It didn't make sense.
He's smoking the crack again.
Is he?
He's doing the heroin.
I'm confused.
He's doing the meth too, with a little bit of weed on the side.
We pick up with them looking to buy a house. We know that they don't have no money, but for whatever reason, Kim has decided that they need to purchase a home.
Why would you want to get a house with a crackhead anyway?
They have no money anyway. She finds a house that she really likes. However, it's $30,000 above their budget. So the down payment that they managed to scrape together, they now need an additional $7,000 for, and she's not sure where to get it. Joey's like, we can ask your dad. And she's like, you ask my dad. And he does. Later, her dad comes over to their Airbnb where they're talking about how they found this house. And Joey hits him up. He's like, listen, basically, we need like $7,000 to make this happen. I'm trying to work, but once they hear about my history with jail, it's a done deal. Could you loan us $7,000?
This further lets me know Joey's on drugs. Because only crackheads are so...
He was very flippant about it. Like it wasn't...
Yeah, easy to ask somebody for money, though, to do something.
But the dad was like, I mean, it's to help Kim, it's to help the boys. Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and give $7,000 for this. But hopefully you guys need to figure your money situation
He
out.
had no issues or problems asking that dude for $7,000.
Nothing. No hesitation.
We're a little short, and we have some things we need to do. We need like plus 7,000 or something to get the down payment on the house, and if you can help us, that'd be cool.
So Kim thanks her dad, and they think they're on the up and up, but they're not. So then they go to the bank the next day because they have to open up an account for Joey. So I'm gonna do it like a joint share account with Joey and Kim. But it doesn't go well. One, they hear that there's got to be a background check and a credit check. We all know Joey has no money or credit. Two, he needed his cell phone for a different part of the process in order to like open the account and sign up on some agreements, and he didn't bring his phone with him. And she was like, "Where's your where's your phone then? We got to do this." He's like, I have no idea where it is. I don't know.
Or so we thought.
He gets to the car. He's like, I don't know where this phone is. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, he's just making a big deal of it, and she's getting really frustrated. Then she also like tries to side talk to the bank teller and is like, hey, is there any way you could limit his spending on his card? And the guy's like, not really, but we can give you like notifications that he's spending whatever. She's like, thanks. But she doesn't want Joey to know that she's asking for all this around behind his back, which is great for trust. And then they get back in the car, and Joey wants to go shopping. He wants to go look at car accessories. For what? I don't know. He's driving a Dodge.
He want to put them 12s in that. He want that dum 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 dum.
You don't believe me that he's stuck in 2003? You don't believe me? Who's buying rims and bass like that?
Me. I got some knock in my truck. Dum dum dum.
What truck?
Dum 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 dum.
You don't got a truck?
God, you're such a goddamn hater. What? Jeez Louise.
I like truth. Anyway.
Sure. As long as it's killing my truth, then it's fine.
How is it truth? We don't have a truck.
Dum, 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 dum. He want the knock. That's all I'm saying.
Why?
He want to take it back to 99. Dum, dum,
he's stuck at 99. But she's like, we don't have the money for this. Like, we just left the bank where we don't basically have anything. We're saving for the house. We don't have money to spend like this right now. And he's like, well, I just don't think it's fair that you're the only one who gets to spend, and I don't get to spend anything. And it's like, what are you talking about right now?
He tells her to get out of his life, and he goes for a walk.
Right.
He shimmies off for a walk.
And he swishes his walk down the street.
He shimmies off for a walk.
But it's her in the car, like following him on the sidewalk, being like, in the car, Joey. And he's like, no. It's very Megan. So anywho.
Megan!
No. Exactly. He's like, leave me alone. And she's like, get in the car. So he gets in the car. Magically, he has his phone, by the way. He gets in the car. They drive back home. And he immediately gets in bed and goes to sleep. And she's like, okay. It's the middle of the day. She ends up talking to his mom, who had been watching her boys. And she's making it sound like she has concerns that Joey is either using again or stepping out on her, or a combination of both things. So the mom is like, I honestly don't know. He's not talking to me like that. So I don't know. The behavior you're mentioning is concerning, but I'm not sure. But Kim takes this as like full proof that he's using, right? So she's concerned. A little bit later, she's checking on him, and he's complaining about pain in his side and that he doesn't feel good and he wants to go see a doctor. So she's making some calls to get him like an appointment with a primary care physician and set one up for him. And of course, those are never like super, super fast. And they're using the state insurance. He's got Medicaid. So it narrows down who you can see. But for whatever reason, Joey's just getting flustered with the conversation. He's getting real mad about it. She's like, I need your phone number that can reach you out on your cell. What's your phone number again? Like, she doesn't have it. She definitely has that phone number. But he's like, oh, I don't know. I got to look it up. And she's like, okay, well, go get your phone. Or I'll go get your phone. And he's like, you're never going to find it. I don't know where it is. And then he goes into the car again to search for it and says he can't find it. And then when he gets back in the room, he pulls the phone right out from under his pillow and is on it, like texting. It's like, what's going on? So then she's like, okay, I think I set up an appointment for you for the primary care physician. And he's like, nah, I need to leave now. I'm going to go to urgent care. Go to urgent care where, sir? And he just gets dressed and goes, I have to leave. I have to go. She tries to talk to him. He doesn't want to hear anything. And he ends up leaving the house. Then we find out that she, amongst all of the Apple tags that she has sent on this man. She also has been going through his Apple Watch, his smartwatch, to see what text he's been receiving. And apparently one of the texts he has is, "Hey, don't call me on my cell. I don't have it with me. I'll see you in like 5 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever." And she's concerned because she thinks he's either meeting up with somebody to get drugs or cheating on her. This is a lot. This is a lot for somebody that she's trying to marry and live in a home with.
I will say this. For somebody who doesn't have a job, he sure has a lot of Apple products.
She bought them all for him.
I'll tell you what. You wouldn't have no job. You have a flip phone.
I have so many questions because when they're talking about the mortgage payment that they can handle,
even if that,
the house they want, he says is going to be about $1,500 a month, but Kim only makes $1,600 a month, and my mind could not compute that she's only making $1,600 for the whole month. She's got 2 little kids. How is she living off an $800 salary? How cheap is it to live in North Carolina right now? So many questions.
It's not that it's cheap to live in South Carolina. It's
not South Carolina. It's North Carolina.
It's not that it's cheap. It's that, well, the cost of living ain't that high.
$800?
The cost of living ain't that high.
$800 biweekly is insane.
And 2, she could be living in the middle of nowhere to where it takes some time to get to grocery store, or I'm pretty sure where she lives, there's no public transportation at all.
Okay.
So you need a car. So the further you are away from,
like shopping centers,
public transportation, the less you have to pay for. They might not even have a sewer system.
I don't think she's backwoods because they do have.
I'm not saying she's backwoods. What I'm saying to you is they can still. It'd be something like you're on the outskirts, but it'd take you maybe 15, 20 minutes to get to a grocery store or something.
Okay, so you're saying that she's not somewhere where she could just easily be like, I'm going to pick up groceries.
Yeah.
Like that.
It'd be like
a planned trip, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can still, and some of those places now are getting like sewer systems and stuff like that. But for the most part, she can still have a septic tank.
What's that got to do with her only living off of $800?
What I'm saying is, that's why the cost of her living could be so cheap. She might be further away from amenities.
Okay. So she's not spending as much because it's not as convenient to get there.
Yeah, it's not. She lives in a place that's not as convenient to live.
Okay.
But you gotta realize though, there's still a lot of backwoods and little country.
So I'm looking at the Airbnb they're staying in. I'm looking at the house that they just purchased, right? Like those are pretty established neighborhoods. It doesn't mean that they're near any shopping centers.
If you look where they're at, there's still a lot of forest, a lot of trees.
Okay.
It's not as built up.
Okay.
Because she's like next door. She even asked for that place. She went to look. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Is that a plot next door?" She's like, "Yeah, that's a plot." Which means there's just a plot there. So if they want to put a trailer there for like his mom or her mom or somebody, her dad, they can. There's nothing there.
So there's a lot more wide open space.
Yeah.
Okay. I just couldn't get over that she was living off of $800 biweekly. But then I was also thinking about her ex paying this child support. She said how they need it.
That's the makeup.
That's what supplemented her income.
Yeah, that's the makeup.
That's so crazy.
That's why she doesn't want this to come back. That's his child.
Right. Which is still up in the air. We still don't have the paternity results of the eldest. So crazy. So, and that's where we leave them too. We leave them on that little cliffhanger. He's out and about doing whatever he's doing.
Yanking all the cameras down, trying to sell it for his drug habit.
My thing is he sick or is he using?
I'm just joking. But he was yanking down them damn cameras.
Off the car. But my thing is, does he not know about all the Apple tags? How Apple tagged up that car?
Of course he doesn't know about the Apple tags.
But that was it. That's it for Love After Lockup or Life After Lockup.
After Lockup.
You got any shows you've been watching?
No, I'm starting to watch more sports, college football on the weekends, and more uh NFL football a little bit more, and a little bit more basketball.
Are there?
Since we have YouTube TV, it's easier to watch stuff now.
Are you watching 2 different games right now?
I'm watching 4 different games.
Oh my gosh. So many questions.
No questions.
No questions.
Peter Piper, Picker Pepper, but Run Rock Rhymes.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Pendejo.
Oh, so now that we have a new president happening, do you think the Diddy stuff is going to go away?
Diddy stuff go away how?
He's friends with Diddy.
Who gives a crap? He ain't gonna say no goddamn Diddy.
You don't think he's going to try to pardon him?
No. I don't even think he knows what's going on with Diddy.
I'm pretty sure he's aware of what's going on with him.
No, I'm pretty sure he's not.
There's a lot of big names associated with Diddy.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he's not. Unless Diddy has stuff on him like Epstein does.
Yeah, that's what the concern is, that he has stuff on him like Epstein.
And guess what? Diddy's gonna randomly die in prison.
Yes, you don't think he's going to try to free him?
No, he's gonna randomly die.
Yeah.
Did he try to free Epstein or did he kill Epstein?
Well, no, we don't know. It has not been confirmed.
Epstein magically died in prison.
They said he hung himself.
Sure he did.
What? I'm just watching wrestling.
Let's be honest. That dude had stuff on the president of the United States and who knows how many other world leaders.
I don't know why, but that Wendy's looks so good right now. There's a commercial for Wendy's drinks, and they look delicious. Anywho, I'm trying to get into AEW, which is All Elite Wrestling, which is supposed to be a rival to WWE.
It's all crappy wrestling because it's crap.
You know what? But I kind of like it. It feels like old WWE to me. So I'm trying to get into it, trying to learn. Also, I like how many black people they've got in it. Like, it's way more than WWE. Don't get me wrong, WWE also has quite the diverse casting. But like in terms of like lead actually hitting the mat, AEW, in terms of like representation, a lot more people of color and a lot more people in the darker spectrum. It's not just like the super light brights. It's very interesting.
I think I'm gonna get a poster board and take a sign next time I go to the next wrestling match.
It just says boo.
Just say boo, you suck.
You're gonna write boo Ebony Shock?
Boo Ebony Shock.
I can't believe you called him Ebony Shock.
Like, who the hell is this Ebony Shock guy?
So wrong. But yeah, our next in-person wrestling is not until December, a little closer to your birthday. But that's it.
Speaking of which, people want to know what I'm doing for my birthday. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know. So if you want to plan something, I give you access to my phone. You can do what you want to do.
Very interesting and so random. Okay.
Yeah, because you brought up the whole closer to my birthday thing. That's what made me pop up in my head.
It feels like you're inadvertently telling me I have to plan something for you.
Nope. I'm just saying, listeners.
Interesting.
Some of our listeners want to know what I'm doing.
Interesting. All right.
So,
that's all I got, unless you got something else.
That's all I got.
All right. Thank you for listening to We Like That podcast.
So we like that.
Go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know you want to. And rate us 5 stars. I'm Javon.
I'm Calvin.
Later, people.
And we're out.